It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. Woohoo! That's fantastic. Awesome. So, now what do I do from here?
Don't go anywhere near it. Talk about the gins.
Okay, I'm going to talk about gins because we're still having technology issues. Hilarious. Okay, what are we doing today? We're doing freshly foraged gins. So it means that each of these gins, which come from very different places, have got different foraged ingredients in them that make them just that bit special. So that was really interesting. I thought it was an interesting thing to have a look at. So we've got the Mountain Gin, which is from Mount Macedon. We've got the Blackwoods Gin, which is a 2017 gin, which is from Shetland in the UK. And we've got the absolutely gorgeous Fluorescence Gin from Anther, which has a special story all of its own, which we will get to in due course. So which one are we going to start with? Ross is still grappling with the tech. So
I think it's your PC.
Of course it is. Absolutely.
Well, it's not what I see on my PC.
No, it's a different PC. Okay. All right. We're going to ignore it.
I'm going to ignore it. That's
okay.
Right. That's all fine. Which means we...
Stand up.
Stand up. Which means we can't answer your queries as we go. We'll have to answer them offline.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
We'll answer them afterwards. Apologies for that. So, okay. Which order are we doing these in, Roscoe?
Oh, start the Mountain, then the Blackwoods, and then the...
All right. So tell us a bit about the Mountain.
Mount Macedon.
Crikey. It's got a tricky stopper.
They've had a number of cracks at different things at Mount Macedon and etc.
Forgotten the mixes.
Sorry?
We've forgotten it. We forgot the mixes. We do have them. Don't panic.
We don't need the mixes to start off with.
No, we need them at some point. So we've got the Mountain, and is what we're starting with, which is this one here from Mount Macedon, and it's got some really interesting things in it. And we'll need an opener, which we have over here. Yes, we were talking about the Mountain.
Cool.
There you go.
I can't think of anything more than it comes from Mount Macedon, and it was interesting.
Okay. Awesome. Good work.
Well,
going well so far.
I don't have my notes with me, and I don't remember, so there you go.
I think we'll just pretend you didn't say that. All right. So we're all discovering it for the first time. Ross is discovering it for the first time again.
I've probably discovered it for the first time 3 or 4 times.
You probably have, which is why there's not a lot in the bottle. Be afraid.
No, I discovered it when I met the distiller and we tasted it. We went, oh, that's really interesting.
So what's interesting about it? Well, why don't you smell it and tell people what's interesting about it now rather than what you thought was interesting about it then? So it's certainly juniper. I get a bit of, do you get a bit of pepperberry or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bit of that pepper sort of flavour.
Which comes back to a lot of the Australian gins, and it started with Bill Lark, used pepperberry.
Yeah. Does this one?
So it tends to be, the forage botanicals, there seems to be, we get used to seeing things like pepperberry and...
I get a bit of that green sort of saltbush smell out of this one as well.
I think they used some, not pine tree, but native pine-like things, so to get a piney kind of smell, which is that saltbush smell.
Is that that's what that is?
Yeah.
Because the saltbush doesn't make much sense up at Mount Macedon.
No, they tried to pick some things from the forest at the back of the property and make it sort of smell and taste as much as like they were in their own little forest at the back of the...
Oh, that's cool. I like the smell of where I live. I'm going to make a gin that smells like that. Yeah, is that why there's not much gin in Werribee? That's an old Melbourne gag, isn't it? Sorry, Ian. I'm assuming you know what Werribee is. You can look it up. Liz will tell you. Anyway, it's delicious.
Having said that, smells like Werribee, this is a complete detour. There was a gin from South Africa where they'd actually added elephant poo to the still.
Right.
Not a big seller, by the way, but it was got lots of rise up.
Well, people rave about coffee that's made out of things that came out of civet cats. So anyway, which aren't cats, civets, I should say. Apologies. Anyway, we digress. Okay, here we are up the mountain. I'm going to go.
And there's a citrusy sort of orangey thing in that as well, I think.
It's beautiful mouthfeel. It's really delicious. Can I have some ice with mine, please?
Oh, just I'm still. And a bit of aniseed, is it?
Maybe.
Ice for you.
Thank you very much, sir. That doesn't release a lot more. Sometimes it does, but that one doesn't particularly.
Yeah, I often find with the ice it sort of it calms that alcohol burn down, and then you get to smell a whole lot of it and taste a whole lot of other flavours.
But I don't with that one. That's what I'm saying. Interesting. I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go for
Orange or lime?
orange or lemon. That's what we have.
Is that lemon?
That is lemon.
We don't have lime?
Nope, we do not. That's what we put
I've
in the
given
packs.
everyone. No, we gave everyone lime in the pack.
Oh, there you go. You've got something we haven't got.
We've got some lime.
We've got some lime.
We've got some lime. Now look, we've tried
I
all
think
these
it's
with lemon.
lime.
They all work with lemon, but they all work better with something else.
Well, I'm going to try mine with orange because that's my thing. Once I discovered gin with orange, I think I've never looked back. I almost never have lemon in it now, which is good because our lemon tree is not playing the game.
No. How's it go with the orange?
Nice, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try it with.
Hang on, let's have a smell. Yeah, it works better with the orange than the lime.
Yeah, I think so.
The lime
And
works.
I'm going to try it with the Indian, if I may.
Indian, they were just sweet. Yeah, it's a bit.
It needs a bit of. It's just very dry, and I think it might need a bit of that sort of.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, why didn't we send out Mediterranean with this one? Because that's what we've done normally. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just. I'm asking.
I know for a fact the Mediterranean will not work with the anther. It'll
Okay.
taste like soap.
Okay.
Ask Josh about that. We did that.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that would taste like soap, and that one will probably go that way as well.
Is it because of that rosemary sort of punchiness that comes out of the?
It's something to do with the essential oils in the rosemary that react with the mountain pepperberry.
Oh, there you go. Okay. That's really nice. I like that. It's very drinkable, which is good because we're drinking.
Because we're drinking it. Needs the bubbles and a little bit of sugar to release all those.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that a lot. Well, I would be interested in your comments when we can work out where the hell they are. Anyway, we will resolve that. We keep saying that, don't we? We will resolve that for the next.
No, we
tasting.
resolved that with different computer than that one.
He's going to have a computer. He's going to fiddle it. Awesome. So, anything else you want to say about the mountain? So they
I
make
reckon it's a really sexy bottle, and I
It is.
like the stopper. I really think that's a bloody ripper.
Do they make anything else? Mountain?
Make a couple of other gins.
Do they?
Yeah. But that was one to me that was sort of the...
Nice. It is a
Stand
beautiful
out.
bottle. Okay, so the next one is all the way up to the north of the UK, to Shetland.
Or the Shetland Islands, to be specific.
Yep.
Now, this was the... When I first took over the Wig cellar, this turned up... I think it was the vintage 2002.
Okay, so this is
And I looked at it and
2017.
went, well, look, I've had a few gins in my time, but vintage, what the hell are they talking about? And how it
That was
works...
back in the day when we didn't know about vintage gin.
Well, this was the first vintage gin.
Yeah.
And what happens on the Shetland Islands, for the botanicals they want to make the gin out of, not every year it produces enough of them, or they get ripe enough, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
So there was the 2002, that was followed by the 2004. The next one was the 2008. So like not every year, because it's so cold
Okay.
up there, not every year
Yes,
all
yes.
the local botanicals come out. So
Okay.
what they do is, so each year is a different, because of the weather, there's a different spread of things. So it's like it's
Yep.
anything of these 12 things, but this time it's only this 6 or that 7 or that 8 or that 9.
Okay.
So they call it a vintage because, in 2017, which is this one, there was certain
Right.
botanicals that were available.
So the reason we're not serving a 2020 or 21 is because there wasn't one.
There might be a 21, but we don't know.
Right, okay.
But this is the one they sent me.
Okay, it's a pretty bottle. I like it.
So it's not every year, it's probably
What I
every
like
second
about
or
this one-
third year.
What I like about this bottle is it says Wild Thyme, Meadow Sweet, Cowslip, and Eyebright. Now, I actually looked those up. Eyebright is actually a herb that you can use to deal with minor eye issues. That's why it's called Eyebright. What's interesting is that they are all they have little tiny white flowers, although they're quite different. So anyway, that's interesting.
But when I did my research on it way back, it was like, hey, this is really cool. These guys are actually trying to do something that's really...
Yeah. Well, now that's quite different.
So,
Now, we've had a couple of maritime gins, haven't we? This smells a bit like a maritime gin to me. I get a bit of that sort of saltiness.
Yeah. What do you think of a windswept bunch of islands like the Shetlands?
It probably does.
Probably does get a bit
Yeah,
maritime.
exactly. Exactly. Actually, we just watched an Ainsley, what's his name? Ainsley Harriott?
Yeah, keep going, yeah.
Did the cooking show, and he did freshly foraged stuff on the UK shore. That was interesting. He didn't make gin out of it, but I just thought it was interesting what they collect. Quite different looking to ours. Yeah, I can smell that thyme.
And there's other smells there which we've debated before in the past.
That's right. But what I did think is that I think it smells a bit floral, but it smells like the flowers are white. I actually said that before I found out that the flowers were white. Hand on heart, promise. Which is interesting because this one has is very floral as well, but has quite a different flavour. Yep. So I get the thyme, and I get just little white flowers is what I get. Sort of. I was thinking not jasmine, but you know those little tiny white flowers. That's got a very different mouthfeel to that one. Oh, it's got a whole back palate thing going on.
Yeah, it's got lots of texture.
Yeah, I'll say. That's delicious.
Mm.
At the risk of being boring, I'm going to ask for some ice and then I'm going to do orange again, I think. I think this is again an orange arrangement. It'll be interesting to see what you think at home. Oh, yeah. Angelica is the sort of flower I'm thinking of. You know, those little tiny weeny white flowers. That is what these flowers actually look like. I don't know why I thought you could smell that they were small.
Well, it might be a relative of Angelica.
Might be. Orange. More orange. I think. Oh, orange changes up the smell. That's interesting.
Well, always the chemical experiment. As soon as you add a bit of acid to these things, things change.
It's my life, really. Chemical experiment.
Seriously.
You're a bit of a chemical experiment.
I think I'm just an experiment. That's
No comment. Yum. Again, I'm going to have that. Got a bit of a dry finish to it. I'm going to have a bit of sugar with it. But I'm going to go, not a lot, I'm just going to do a, like that. So I'm at 50-50, I reckon. Well, that's interesting, but I don't know, not sure that it enhances the flavour. I think maybe it sort of
needed a dry tonic, maybe.
I don't know, or maybe a light tonic. Less flavour.
Smell that with the lime; it's sensational.
Oh, it is. Wow.
Lime's the go.
Lime's the go.
Yeah.
Can we agree that we've swapped Jones? Quite right. Round 2 to Ross. He wins. Lime is the go. Very nice with orange, but it's not.
And
I've lost a lot of the other flavours. Have sort of disappeared behind the combination of the tonic and the.
Yeah, the lime works really well. Lifts everything up. As I say, I've tried all these with lemon, and that works very well. Lemon just seems to work. First one better with orange. This one better with lime.
Okay. All right.
And yum.
Right, and I'm going to have a little rinse. No spit. And
do you want to talk about that one?
from our very dear friends at Anther, the Fluorescence Gin, which is made with a whole lot of freshly foraged ingredients from the Royal Botanic Gardens in sunny downtown Melbourne. Well, sunny at the moment. And also, one of the things we always love about Anther is they tell you on the back how much it has of everything. So obviously it has quite a lot of juniper because that's their thing, and it has some finger lime, some waratah. So what's different, interesting, is the circle is different on each of the Anther gins. So if you think they're the same, they're not. So juniper and coriander. Junipers are always there, obviously. Coriander is there, a bit of coriander in it. And then some things that you don't see, bacea, pepperberry, which we've just talked about, a small bit of pepperberry, kunzea, and waratah, and finger lime.
Now, I discussed with this, and she said the waratah was the most fascinating because it just...
Now that is really...
an amazing... I wouldn't think about putting waratah in anything, but...
Yeah, but that is a really floral. Now this is to my point about, I thought this smelled like white flowers. This smells, I mean, apart from that, you know that waratah is red. It smells very floral, but it doesn't smell white.
It smells quite herby as well to me.
Mm.
There's a real herbaceousness about it.
And interestingly, given how much juniper is usually in their stuff, and they say so on the bottom, it's not a strong juniper. I don't smell as much juniper on this as I do on this.
The
mountain.
The mountain seems to have. Yeah.
Mm.
And interesting again, typical pepperberry.
Oh, that's delicious. Again, a really interesting texture. I wonder whether the textures come from the fact that there's so much else going on. You know, you've got lots of other textures coming from the flowers and things. Do you think?
No, it comes from various things. I often find it's just the essential oils in the, you know, and I'd suggest that things like the waratah have lots of different oils going on. But that's seriously interesting. Ice is nice.
Ice is nice, and I think I'm going to put that one with the dry tonic, maybe. I don't know. Can't decide. I am going to go strawberry, though. Which, again, is something we've done a lot over the last year. Strawberries and gin.
Now that's interesting. I've just got the ice in and nothing else. And the one thing that's come up is the pepperberry.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Usually you can't expect all the things to sort of level out with the ice, but that's...
Yeah. And I'm going to have dry tonic, I think.
Dry tonic? Off you go.
I don't want to lose all that flavour.
Go with the strawberry.
That's what I think. Well, last time when we did a test run, we did try it with orange and it didn't.
No, it wasn't the thing that died in there.
That, my friend, is delicious. Do you reckon?
Yep.
That's yum. I wonder if the others would have been better with the dry tonic too. Anyway, somebody do an experiment and report back, because that's worth knowing.
Oh wow!
That is delicious.
That is sensational.
That is a party in a glass.
Yeah, that's the
That's
winner.
my favourite. I was just about to say that. I think it's gorgeous. Really nice.
Mind you, I still think the Blackwoods is sensational too.
Yep. Yeah, they're anyway, delicious. Let us know what you liked best and we'll chat to you about it afterwards. Now, what are we doing next, Gin Club Ross, which will be, heavens, lordy love, April.
Well, we'll start with the Suburban gin.
Well, you've got to love a gin called Suburban, don't you? Mother's Little Helper.
Well, this is a bit like the Mount Macedon story. These guys are sort of Eltham research somewhere that are sort of vaguely suburban. Not as suburban as some might think, but they use a lot of suburban herbs. So like they use stuff they can find in their backyard and all round about. So there's things like, what does it say on the thing? Doesn't say, but there's things like...
Anyway, we'll do our research.
No. There's things like kikuyu grass and thistle and It's really garden variety stuff, like.
There you go.
Yeah. And they've just won a few awards with this guy. I mean, I was always thinking this is a bit left of centre, but they just won a
Got a very cute
couple
label
of gongs
with a Hills hoist on
with
it.
a Hills hoist on it.
We like that. And
So that inspired my thought. I thought, looked at it, went, if we're going to taste this gin, I mean, it sort of goes in this bracket because it's forage, but it's a little bit not quite as forage, different
Yes.
sort of forage.
yes,
I thought Suburban gin, and what is it about this? But what it is about this, this is uniquely Melbourne. This is from Melbourne.
so why are we tasting this one?
This is uniquely from Melbourne.
Oh, I can see a theme.
These are from Somerville. And again, so it's a bit like, yeah, da-da-da-da. And then Hawkers, which is in, where are Hawkers? Brunswick? Coburg? Coburg.
Isn't everything in Coburg?
So, again, Melbourne, uniquely Melbourne.
The Ginny Nelson hop gin.
It's a hop gin. They got these special hops they were making.
Oh, from Hawkers.
Hawkers are
people.
making a special beer with these special hops that they got, because they got these hops and went, oh, these are really fantastic. What are we going to do with them? And make a beer. And they went, these smell so good, we should put them in gin.
Good plan.
So they got people in, and
It's
they
a
went, made a
limited
gin to
release.
specifically go
And it
with
is a
these,
very sexy bottle.
specifically to go with those hops.
Okay,
And
awesome.
the hops are called Ginny Nelson.
There you go. Awesome. So we're going to try those in April. So usual story, tell your friends, sign well, you don't need to sign up, you're already subscribed. So they will all arrive and that will be fab.
I'm looking at this, look, see, so these are Melbourne gins that are very Melbourne-ish. Special hops from
Melbourne-ish.
Melbourne.
It's a technical term, Melbourne-ish.
Special herbs from a Melbourne backyard, etc.
Awesome. So that's what we're doing in April. We will have another tasting in the middle.
Yep.
To be advised. So, taste away, enjoy, and thanks for tuning in.
Yep. Now we're going to post that on.
Bye.
Bye. YouTube. Yay. Woohoo.
Strawberry in the ant bellies. Yes, good call.